Welcome back to beautiful scenic Burlington. It's Sunday, December 21st, around 8 p.m. Burlington Police are responding. We're here on Greene Street between Isham Street and Loomis Street. Three cruisers are responding. Not sure where exactly. We got two down at the end of the block there, and then one pulled in here to this rental building. Oh, I'm gonna put this down for a second.
What are you filming, dude?
I don't know.
Just curious?
Yeah, do you know anything about what's going on?
No idea. We got a fire truck here from Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one outside.
Oh, okay, so maybe this is... Was there an ambulance also, or just a fire truck? Huh. I just film police and fire responses.
I think I've seen you maybe on Instagram or something like that.
I'm beautiful scenic Burlington.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah. So.
Probably some college good shit.
Yeah, I mean, given the neighborhood and the house, I mean, I assume that's I would guess that's a college rental house.
Sure.
Yeah. So that bystander said that there was a fire truck, but no ambulance. Which suggests that this could be, a fire response combined with a police response, or possibly an overdose response combined with a police response. Because sometimes a single fire truck is sent so there's something called the community response team, and they'll send out two firefighters, either in an engine or some kind of fire truck, or possibly in one of the pickup trucks that they have. And instead of sending a full complement of 4 firefighters in a ambulance fire truck combination. I don't see anything going on inside the house from out here. No indications of any activity. Still got that police cruiser shining its headlights in this direction. Well, while we're waiting, check out some bumper stickers. Bigfoot is real and he's gay. Kamala 24. That's a weird color pattern for a political sticker. This car climbed Brokeback Mountain. Great movie if you haven't seen it. I do see someone maybe sitting at a desk. What do you think happened here? The Burlington Police, like I think many police forces, publish a daily blotter where you can look up incidents by location and time and date. You can usually learn the call type and the incident number from that. If you have, say, the time and date. And with an incident number, you can make a public records request. You can also call dispatch and ask for an incident number. It's pretty easy to make a public records request on the website, and you can ask for things like a police report, body camera footage, dispatcher narrative. Love these big old houses. Look at those windows. And for some streets in Burlington, especially older streets like this, you can even Google the history of the street, and it might bring you to like a UVM webpage where someone may have published some historical research. You can sometimes learn when a house was built, who built it and originally occupied it. It's chilly tonight. It was above freezing recently. All the snow melted, more or less. But now we have another dusting on the ground. Huh. Someone with a flashlight. We've got Burlington Police on the second floor with a flashlight. So that's interesting. Maybe there's a kind of search being conducted. I've got these new gloves, but they are tight. They're hard to slip on and off, and I like to slip gloves on and off for various reasons. It's interesting. We've got one vehicle which has stopped here by the house.
Oh, hey, what's up? By mine? Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, officer. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Can you help with anything?
I see another head up there, maybe another officer. All right, the woman who was in that vehicle parked or standing in the road has parked and gone inside the apartment. I think the officer said something about attaching maybe this vehicle to the incident. I didn't hear it clear. I just heard attach. Can you attach? Um, yeah, so there's well, my whittle fingers are getting chilly. There is a another officer wearing a hat inside that front room. I don't know what kind of call this is. Some thought it was college kids. I don't know. Hey, sir, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. All right, looks like some evidence is being been bagged up. It's being brought back to a vehicle. Yeah, these gloves are too small. And it's the wintertime. Recording outside in the winter when it's cold. Sometimes you have to deal with thermal issues. If the phone gets too cold, the battery basically stops working. At least that's my layperson's understanding. And you very quickly go from having battery to the phone dying. One of the ways I try to combat that is by having an external battery as a power source. That way it can stay warm inside a pocket, the battery, while the phone turns to ice. All right, sorry about this. I'm just putting on a glove. And we have a third officer coming out. Is that might be Sergeant Vivori. Yeah, I believe one of the vehicles down there is a supervisor vehicle, dark gray, instead of the standard black and white livery of the patrol vehicles. Or the nearly black of the captain's vehicle. Huh. Someone's looking at, what is that? A stand of plants? That's the police standing there. Yeah. Hey. I don't have a clue. Someone else who was here before me said that there was a fire truck here, and then it left. And then there's 3 police cruisers, and they've been inside. One of the officers came out with a bag, maybe of like some evidence. There's other brown paper bags. But those are the only details I have. Yeah.
Do you know tomorrow?
No, I was just saying I really don't have a clue, but it seems like maybe they were searching for something. Yeah. I wish I had more details.
I wasn't sure maybe you knew.
There's some curious neighbors wondering what's going on in their neighborhood. Ooh. So I'm thinking of a call. Wasn't too long ago. It was a cold night. I don't remember if that was November. Maybe that was November. And I was recording a police and fire response at one of the homeless shelters, Champlain Place. And eventually, all the police and fire fighters left, except for, I thought, one police officer. And I stood around for half an hour, maybe even more than half an hour, waiting for this police officer to come out and go back to her cruiser. And finally, I kept checking, and the cruiser was still there. And finally, I checked, and the cruiser was gone. And I think what had happened was that maybe, this is just my theory, that she left in one of the ambulances and then came back from, let's say, the hospital back to her cruiser and took off from there. And the entire time I was waiting for a police officer who wasn't even there, and I just didn't realize it. It was freezing my butt off for a good half an hour or more. That's not the case here. There's at least two. Looks like that other officer may have left. I'm gonna go just take a look. This is down here at this is the intersection of Greene and Isham and that other street whose name I forget. Because it's Isham Street to the left, and it's whatever that other street is to the right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that other officer who came out with that paper bag of what looked to me to be possibly containing evidence of some kind has departed. Sergeant Favori was at last fall. He was at a call on North Avenue where a bystander actually assaulted me, grabbed my hand and my camera, and Sergeant Favori came out and confronted me about that. That was an awkward conversation. That video also featured Chief Murad, who I think is head of the Department of Corrections now. I actually saw his name on I was looking at some I don't know, the court calendar, and I saw his name for some upcoming court cases. Which I just I assume is kind of one of the things you get to do when you're in that position. And Sergeant Favori was also at the Burlington High School the time that the high school called the cops on me for recording a story there. I wasn't recording a police or fire response. I was just recording a story on the First Amendment right to record in public. Which the superintendent, the Burlington School District superintendent, wants me to ask permission in order to be allowed to record in public, which I think is extraordinary. I say that because his lawyers sent me a letter offering to rescind their unlawful and unconstitutional trespass if I would agree to ask permission to exercise my First Amendment rights. Now, that's not something we do here. There's a reason they're called rights. It's up to you whether or not you want to do them. You don't have to ask other people's permission to walk down the side of the street, and you don't have to ask people's permission to be a journalist, to post a story to social media as a citizen journalist. It's your right in the United States of America. We have the freedom of speech and the freedom of press, and we have the freedom of assembly. Most amazingly of all, not only did the superintendent trespass me from all school district property, but he also, in my opinion, defamed me. He said that he was protecting children from me, protecting children from the First Amendment. And when I asked him whether he thought I was a danger to children in any way, he responded that he didn't know that I wasn't. he admitted that he had no reason to think that I was a danger to children, but he still sent out a letter, an email, to, what was it? I think someone might have said 4,500 people in Burlington, all parents and staff in the Burlington School District. Really, in my opinion, shameful behavior. I've asked him many times to rescind that trespass. I've asked the school board on multiple occasions to rescind the trespass, and neither of them have done so. Which I think shows their willingness to abuse their power against members of the public who show an interest in the school district and and don't ask permission to exercise their rights. I wished that they would be reasonable, but you know, I can't force them to be reasonable. It does make me wonder, though, what does the school district want to hide? What does the school board want to hide? At a recent city council meeting, there was a proposal for sort of more election transparency that would cover the powerful elected figures in our city, including the city council members and school board members. And the school board showed up, the head of the school board showed up to ask to be excluded from that transparency. I don't think that proposal went anywhere. But astoundingly, the school board, which is responsible for an enormous budget, an enormous percentage of the property taxes that every Burlington resident pays, over 2/3 of property taxes, they feel like they should be held to a lower standard. And to be fair, I'm not sure how I felt about that transparency proposal. But I definitely think the school board, powerful elected officials that they are, should be held to the same standard as city councilors, if not higher standard. You know, they hold the welfare of the children of Burlington in their hands. That's a very serious responsibility. All right, we're at 42 minutes. And right now, in my imagination, the two police officers and the older woman, middle-aged woman who went in there, are sipping something warm. uh, Maybe I'm only imagining that because I wouldn't mind a warm drink right now. Maybe some tea or hot cocoa. Whew. I had a pizza with extra cheese on it tonight, and wow, those slices are like blocks of concrete. Just sitting in my belly, weighing me down. You see this feature a lot in this part of town. These big external staircases, which I assume are there for fire code. Oh, we've got the officers back in the front room. Again, looking around that plant stand area. I don't know how well you'll be able to see anything. But there might be a shelf and maybe something is being taken off the shelf and examined. All right, putting a glove back on. Huh, I wonder if they've been searching. This whole time. All I can see is a bit of someone's head. Is there a privacy cushion in the window? Well, if you want to create privacy, blinds are a good way to do it. Especially at night when it's dark out and you have your lights on, it's pretty easy to just see right into the windows. During the daytime, it can be completely different. If it's light out, the glare off the windows can make it very difficult to see in. Especially with a camera. One of the First Amendment auditor YouTube channels that I enjoy watching is True North Transparency, and one of the things that he does is he goes around and films businesses and records people's reactions, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And sometimes businesses that don't want someone recording in their giant street level windows will close their blinds. And from time to time, there are even businesses that don't have blinds to close. Another thing you see sometimes in these the auditors who audit banks, sometimes there'll be a bank, right on the sidewalk, and they'll have computer monitors that actually face the street. You can see right in through the windows and see what's on a computer monitor. I suppose it depends on what's on the monitor, but that doesn't seem very secure. Two channels that do a lot of bank audits. Kansas City Accountability and KULT News. Sometimes people refer to me as an auditor. Um, Actually, someone in city of Burlington HR referred to me as an auditor, First Amendment auditor, or maybe asked if I was. I don't really think of myself as a First Amendment auditor. I think of myself as more as a journalist. I was focusing on transparency. And just educating the community about what does it look like? What does a police response look like? Who are our officers? Where are things happening? But the auditing aspect is important to me in the sense that I do think it's people have rights and they're important, and I think it's important for our public employees to uphold those rights in our institutions. That's when I was trespassed from Champlain College. I wish I wasn't, but they're well within their rights as a private institution to do that. That's in stark contrast to the Burlington School District, which is a government institution and violated my rights. And by extension, the rights of everyone. When they trespassed me for exercising the First Amendment. Recording in public. Recording a story about whether or not the Burlington School District respects our right to record in public. The answer being no, unfortunately. And you know, Champlain College isn't a fan of recording on their property either. Nor is City Market, the co-op. They actually trespassed me. I was being chased by someone who was threatening to physically assault me, and he chased me into City Market, and I was recording him. And the security guards forced me out. They told me I had to leave if I wouldn't stop recording. And I said, I'm not going to stop recording the guy who's, literally attacking me. And so they said, all right, in that case, we're going to trespass you if you don't leave. And so they forced me out, and then the guy, started following me some more. And I said, you literally like sent me out here to the man who's trying to attack me. And I think they didn't like that. So they trespassed me for 2 years from City Market. And it's done wonders for my budget. Not shopping at the most expensive grocery store in town. But of course, they're also very conveniently located. And I mean, man, imagine trespassing someone for recording their attacker in Burlington, of all places. Not just Burlington, I'm talking about Center Street, South Winooski, one of the hot spots in Burlington. You think they would be more supportive of people trying to protect themselves? You'd be wrong, though. You'd be wrong. They're still in the front room. There's an officer. You can I want to say Bartlett. Sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. In the window right there. Oof. I gotta go back to where the image is more stabilized, because I am shaking. Brr, I'm shivering. Now, while I did get trespassed from Champaign College, I got trespassed because I was filming the Burlington Fire Department performing some training exercises. Uh, Using Tower 1, the biggest aerial truck we have in Burlington. I'm doing some aerial training exercises. That's actually a really cool video if you like to, I don't know, watch an aerial, a ladder be extended really far. The Burlington Fire Department also does maintenance and I suppose training at Letty Park. And sometimes you'll see them do training down at the waterfront. Things like water rescues. Whew. All right, we are at the hour and 6 minutes mark. I like to record to the end. But sometimes these incidents take a long time. I might just call it here. We'll give it a few more minutes. Usually things are quick. Usually police incidents are pretty quick. This is not. I wonder what's going on. What a symmetrical license plate. ABA 565. All right, we're just gonna let the police continue from here and call it a night. From Greene Street. Goodbye from beautiful scenic Burlington.